Okay, let's continue. So I just said that if you got connected by using your school's computer, sometimes it will show here that your school can have access to this article here, access by July database, something like that. Okay, so we did this one already, step 3. Okay, and after you found one article, you might want to use handout 1.2 on your blackboard, okay, to evaluate whether your article that you found is fine or not. Okay, so here, this is the document. And number one actually is just the overall picture, okay, that all the sources that you found, do you have balance of literature types or not, theoretical research based with data, or more practical strategies and activities. But actually, it depends on your own purposes as well. If you think that you have a good grasp on the theory, okay, of the theory of that area, so you might want to go for the more practical ones like strategies and activities articles. Okay, and you want to use this checklist to remind yourself how many or what kind of sources you have access to or you have found, journals, books, or articles. Okay, uh, have you tried to balance them or not? And you can check if your lit review is relevant, appropriate, and useful. Okay, so you need to keep these words in mind as well. Okay, relevant, related to your research question, your topic, useful or not. Okay, leading to solution or not, and appropriate for you or not. Okay, and here for number two. Number two is a checklist for all the sources, each source that you have found. Okay, um, here you can check whether the author of the article is well known or not, okay, reliable or not. And here you can check if you don't find it from a blog, for example, okay, from a reliable source. Is it a reliable resource or not? Okay. The third one here, you can check if it's not too old, because if you find an old article, it might have been disproven already by newer ones. Okay. And next one, the writer reflected on what things did not work as well or not. Okay, so sometimes if you find an article that just talks about good things of that activity, or good thing of the study, okay, you might want to question that article whether it's reliable or not, or biased. And here, relevant to your research question or not. Okay, you need to make sure that they are relevant. And the last one, the article gave me solid background information or new ideas for your research or not. Okay, new ideas, don't forget, right, that your AR, action research study, is in loops, right? So you might get some ideas for the next loop of your study from one of the sources. Okay, so you use this to remind yourself, okay, whether the sources are good enough or not. Okay, so for steps 4 and 5, okay, 4 and 5, um, it's about reading the sources that you have found. Okay, so we have skim read for step 4. You might want to read the abstract first. Okay, so that you don't want to waste your time later on reading the whole article if it's not what you want. Okay, and after you read the abstract and you found that it's okay, it's what you look for, you can go to different headings of that article. Okay, so I will use this example, right? right, that I found from Google Scholar. Um, so here, the abstract, I read it and I found that no data at all. Okay, this is a lit review article, and I think that it might give me some good ideas about the field, what's going on, because this is the first article I found. Okay, so I keep it, and I move on. Okay, reading the headings. What counts as research might not be relevant to me, so I skip the marginalization of pronunciation within applied linguistics. Okay, pronunciation is not something that people in the field focus on. Okay, might not be very practical. Okay, so I'm looking for sections that might be practical or lead to solutions. Okay, how research can help setting goals. So I think this heading, how research can help, might be useful. So if you find it might be useful, so you can read that section. Okay, skip read it. And then setting pedagogical priorities, so this is about teaching priorities, so I will read it. Okay, actually have read it already. And determining effective teaching foci or focuses, so should be useful. Okay, so under these three headings, okay, useful. So after you have skimmed through the relevant sections, now you might want to scan read. Okay, step 5, right? Reread those sections again. So I found 3 sections might be useful, right? So I read these 3 sections again, looking for specific information that I needed. Okay, and I continue reading the whole sections. Okay, because they might be useful, and useful information may not be in one place, so you might need to be patient as well, because you're not going to read the whole article, so you should finish certain sections. Okay, and for me, for example, I found certain parts useful. For example, under setting goals. Okay, under setting goals on page 384, you can highlight parts, okay, that you think is useful. So I'm gonna highlight it here. Okay, you can also put notes now what it means. Okay, how it will be useful for you. Yeah. And then after you get certain parts of the article that you think might be useful. Okay, you need to keep record, right? So you use handout 1.3, which is this spreadsheet. Okay, so you might want to use color coding, okay, to differentiate between sources. And I'm talking about this source. Okay, um, so here for the file handout 1.3, the spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, you put the date that you found that article. What were the search terms you used? Okay, what was the search tool you used? And the authors of the article, the title, the year that it was published, and link to the article. Because sometimes you might lose it, right? You might lose the link later. Okay, so it's safer to save the link. And here, okay, is important. The next 2 columns, good information or quotes, okay, and purpose of the quotes. So I put 5 sections, 5 extracts from that article, and I try to put the purpose for each one. Okay, So we'll see in the next clip.